Hey, welcome to the podcast on 2026, week one. Today, what we're going to talk about is life in 2026, and it boils down to three letters, OHW.
You got it.
And I have no clue what those are going to end up meaning, but
You figure out these three letters, it'll change your life.
They
It'll change 2026, the direction of your life.
a whole new direction. Well, that has a little something about it.
And we got Pastor Mike.
And we got Dr. Parker in the house.
Boom.
Yeah. So I am definitely like these headphones are hot. I am being blown away.
Well, Mike, what are you going to do?
Volume.
You-
Which one am I?
You could.
I have no idea which one I am. Number two. Oh, that's so much better. Thank you.
You could land the sticker and whine about it.
See, now
Or
I
you
know.
You could change.
Here's the deal. Red for record. and I'm number two. Learning so much. Only took 2.5 years. Almost 3 years. Hey, I had an amazing thing happen in my world yesterday that I want to share this morning, and then we'll see how that ties in.
Sure, you go first.
If it ties in with your OHW. So my encouragement to anyone who's listening out there for 2026, it's all about today and moving forward. But if you wake up each and every day, if this is what we do, we wake up every day and we just set our expectation for the day that we want to be a part of what God is doing. Not continue to ask God and pray that God, would you be a part of what I'm doing? But that I want to be a part of what you're doing. I'm telling you right now, it happens. And then what you get, which I tell people all the time because I'm so blessed with this, you get a front row seat to what God is doing. And so yesterday, I was at the church. I was filling the blessing shelves.
Right.
We have food that goes into a blessing box that's right by the building, and the food goes quick. And so every now and then I'll just throw a video out, and on Sunday mornings tons of people bring food, and so now the shelves are full again. And so I was filling it up, but we had so much that we had extra, and I decided to take some of it to this place called Passageways, which we've talked about.
Passageways serves veterans.
Absolutely. They serve homeless veterans, and they find them affordable housing, and they get them set up complete with everything that they need to get right back on their feet and then to press forward.
Everything.
Yep.
Toothbrush.
Everything. And
batteries.
It's just an amazing
Table lamp. End table. Everything.
Amazing thing that they're doing. And so I filled up several boxes and I put it in my truck, and I'm headed down to Passageways. There's so many little, it's so cool when you get to see God work and then see how he just puts all these details together. And so I'm driving and I'm a little hungry. And so I decide I'm going to stop into my favorite taco place, which is the Taco Shop.
Okay.
If you live in the Wichita area, or if you're over in Australia, let me give you a reason to come to Wichita. Just get on the plane and come over to Wichita to go to Taco Shop. It is the best taco. And so I go there, I get in line, and I'm in the drive-thru, order up 4 tacos. 4 tacos and a water, because I'm living healthy in 2026. But the whole reason that I went there is because I had been blessed with a gift card from someone in the church for Christmas.
Yeah.
And so that's why I stopped in there. And so I ordered my 4 tacos, got my water on the order, and the lady comes out because they're very efficient. She comes out and she takes my card. She walks back in the building. She comes walking back out just like a minute later. They're so quick. It's so good and quick. That's a part of why it's my favorite place. And she comes walking out. She's got the bag of tacos, but I can immediately see she has no water in her hands. You know, that's the risk you take when you're going to drink water. They're not going to be putting it in the computer, so they're going to sometimes remember, sometimes forget.
Pro tip.
She comes walking out, and then in my mind, I'm saying, okay, I'm not going to make her walk back in there for something that I've asked for free. And so I just said, thank you very much, and took the bag of tacos and drive on. Now I'm headed down to Passageways. And I'm thinking to myself, I really don't need anything to drink, but I'm hungry, so now I'm eating and driving. And
that's always
very safe. And the good news is I only texted a couple of times while I was eating and driving.
with your knee. Got the knee under the steering wheel.
Yeah. No. So I'm eating these delicious tacos. I'm eating these wonderful tacos. And I realized, man, I really need something to drink. And so I stop in at this Quick Trip right across the street from Passageways.
Yeah. And
so I go pulling in there, and I go walking up, and I see this gentleman who's on a bicycle, older gentleman. And what I try to do for folks that are on the street and they're clearly, struggling is in the very least acknowledge them. Let them know that somebody sees them.
Sure.
And so I just simply said, hey, buddy, how you doing? And he looked at me like, I've been better. And I go, well, man, keep your head up. And I go walking in the building. I go to get my iced tea back in the fountain. And I go back up to the counter. And he's now at the counter. And he's got change spread out on the counter there. And the lady behind the counter is counting them, 2 pennies at a time, 2, 4, 6. And she gets to like 36 cents because now I'm standing behind him.
Yeah.
And she said, we really don't have much that you can get with this. And so he scrapes it back into his hand and goes walking back out. And so I had my card out and I was ready to get my tea. But then I remembered, okay, well, I got a $20 bill. I can use the $20 bill. I can break it. I can give this gentleman a couple of bucks. And so, and again, I just want to make sure everybody knows this story is not about me. The story is about being part of what God is doing and being blessed to have a front row seat. And so I go walking back out. I hand him a couple of bucks. And again, I said, hey, man, really just keep your head up. Things are going to get better. And he looked at me and he said, yeah, I'm just looking for a break. After he thanked me for the $2, and so I started to walk away. And then I turned around because something told me to, ask him the question.
Mm-hmm.
So I turned around, I said, hey, are you a veteran? And he said, yes. And I said, well, do you know about Passageways right across the street here? He had no clue.
No way.
No clue.
He's right next to the building.
He's literally 40 yards away from the building where his break was.
Yeah.
Where God had set up his break. Just looking for a break.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, well, come. I took him to the end of the Quick Trip building and I pointed over to Passageways and I said, okay, you need to meet me right over there. That's actually where I'm headed. Meet me at the front door. So he gets on his bike. He rides over there. I go over. I back in to a spot so that I can unload this food. And I took him inside. I said, what's your name? He said, he told me his full name, but he said, Kenny. And so I walk in there and Sean was in there. And I told Sean, I said, hey, I've got somebody that I want you to meet. And so I bring Sean over and they introduce each other. Sean asked him, well, what branch were you in? He says, Army. And then they start talking. And this gentleman was living in a tent in a camp just downtown.
Right.
And he had, so I left the conversation.
Sure.
Because again, I just wanted to
make the connection.
Make the connection. That's my role. And so then I went out and I got the food and all that, brought it back in. And then he had taken him back into the back room, and now there was a lady working with him. And by the time I got the food unloaded, which I'm only talking maybe 10 minutes,
Sure.
they already had him found in the system. But whatever system it is, figured out that they did not have him entered in as a veteran.
Oh, no.
And so he wasn't getting any of the opportunities opened up for him that he now has as a veteran in the system. And so Sean, I asked Sean, so, because now I'm finding this out when I'm asking Sean again. So was that a good thing because I want to know. I'm kind of early in this. Is it a good thing that I brought him in? And he said, oh, it's a great thing. He said, this is amazing. He said, we're going to have opportunities. He may very well be able to be off the street tonight.
Wow.
And I just
That's amazing.
Man, God, you are so good. And so as we stand here today, I don't have any idea how it is working out. All I know is that God is good. He was looking for a break, and his break was right across the street. And so I pray for Kenny. I'd ask you to join me, that Kenny continue to have open doors, because seeing a veteran walk in a Quick Trip with change in hand, spreading it out on a counter to try to see if he can get anything at all is unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I had no idea even at that point, what God was doing. I was just trying to be obedient to helping somebody to see that somebody sees them.
That's an amazing story. And the temptation to just keep walking.
That's the easiest thing to do.
To just keep walking.
It's the easiest and the least amount of life.
Isn't there a story in the Bible where it's something about Jesus says the priest, the pastor, says, I'll pray for you and move on.
Well, it's the Good Samaritan.
Yeah.
The story of the Good Samaritan, where a man is beaten half to death, left on the side of the road. He's mugged and robbed and left on the side of the road between Jerusalem and Jericho. And but the good news is there's a priest coming along. It says that he saw the man. Do you want me to tell this story? He saw the man and went to the other side of the road to continue on. And, there's lots of reasons. They weren't allowed to touch dead bodies. He didn't know if this guy was alive or dead. And there's, couldn't become ceremonially unclean and all this and that. But, it's a priest. And then a Levite, a worker in the church, comes along, same thing, sees him, goes on the other side.
But the idea being that, I'll pray for you, son, and you keep moving.
Right.
As if you just did something.
Yeah.
Versus in this case, the Samaritan who stopped and helped.
Yeah. Didn't just stop, but
right.
Gave him overwhelming assistance.
But here you could have kept walking. And you said the right thing to him. Keep your head up, son.
Sure.
Keep, hang in there.
A word of encouragement.
I gave a guy a word of encouragement.
Could have changed his life.
I felt good. But because you stopped and engaged, this miracle happened.
Well.
Which is actually what it is. I mean, he's standing.
Well, there's a lot of dots that had to be connected.
He's standing 40 yards from the miracle.
Yep.
And needed one more. God needed one more person to complete the final leg of the journey.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And then here's what's pretty cool about that as well. Just because, again, God is so good. I leave passageways. I drive around the corner. I make a left. I make a right. And now I'm sitting at a stop sign, and I look over to my right, and there's my son, Skylar, sitting in his truck eating lunch. It's a Brahms parking lot. But he had gotten, it's another taco place. There's the taco theme in this whole thing. It's called Los Pinos.
Los Pinos.
Yeah, which is right across the street from Passageways. And he said, I was just reading their sign when I was getting my food. And I was like, yeah. So I told him the story, and so
So the moral of this story is, if you don't know what to get the Snows, a gift card to a taco shop.
Yes. Every
No, that's not the
time.
moral. But it does bring us back to these 3 letters.
Okay.
What were the 3 letters?
OHW.
So if we rearrange those a little bit, we get the word who.
Okay.
Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?
Immediately, the who comes into my brain.
And who are you? Who? But your identity, who are you? Are you a child of God? Are you, you opened this up talking about, serving, being able to serve. Well, who you are, who your identity is, that's who you're going to serve. And so as we go into 2026, and so many people that I deal with, they're struggling with anxiety or depression or grief or something. And a large part of it is they don't know what the future holds. Your guy on the street just looking for a break. He don't know where his next meal is coming from. He's got 36 cents in his pocket. Where do I go? What do I do? And he's lost his identity. Because when you think of veterans, and he just described this story of this broken down homeless guy, and you're probably getting an image in your head, that ain't him. That's not what I see. When I see a veteran, what I see, just recently, a few days ago, our military went into a foreign country, 150 jets in the air, which means 10,000 men and women on the ground were coordinating radars, telecommunications, keeping the ships afloat and pointed in the right direction and balanced, and people fed, and and helicopters going, and special forces happening, and people back at the Pentagon. And any one of those men and women, if you stopped and look at them right now, you will see such a badass son of a gun. I mean, standing straight, smart, tall, confident, intelligent. The guys I work with that come in looking like your homeless vagrant,
right,
speak 3 languages. They got masters. I got a guy working on a doctorate. I got another guy who's going to be trying out for the Olympics. But when you look at them in their situation, they've lost their identity.
Sure.
They go through boot camp, they go through training, and they come out these just heroic, incredibly giving individuals who would give their life for their friends, and they're intelligent and smart and well trained, and you say jump, they say how high. I mean, these are great human beings, but at some point they've lost that identity. And they lose sight of the future. They lose, if I don't know who I am, I don't know where I'm going. If I don't know that I'm a child of God, then I'm not going to serve him. If I'm not living that identity, if I don't wake up in the morning and say, hey, thank you for getting me up today, and then I go to the next 3 letters, I rearrange HOW. How? Who am I? How do you want me to live? Who am I? How do you want me to serve you? Who am I? How do you want me to represent you? And whether this is all facets of life. You're working for a company. Who are you in that company? What's your role? Where do you fit? What's your identity? Where do you want to be in that company in a few years? How do you get that? Who are you? Are you a father? Are you a mother? Are you a husband? Are you a wife? Are you wearing that identity? Are you owning it? Are you then asking, well, if I'm a husband, how do I live as a husband? These 3 letters, O, H, and W, who and how. If you meditate on those 2 words every day, wake up the day, who am I? How do I want to live this day since I am this person? If you wake up and say, I'm a child of God, it's real hard to go to the titty bar that evening.
Makes it a little bit challenging. You got to at least think about it.
And for those of you who just got offended because I said titty bar, I want you to know I was in a church Sunday and I heard the word turd. And I heard the word hoe.
Well, turd and toe ain't as bad as titty. Lord, forgive us.
The whole congregation woke up.
Yeah, just forgive us, Lord.
Tamar was a hoe.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Well, Rahab was a hoe.
Rahab.
But Tamar was a character too. That's good. That's really good. Well, the reality of the situation is, as we live this life, we serve someone and we serve something. We are, I saw this, and this is kind of a cool way to look at it. So if you're a Christ follower and you believe in Jesus, and you know not only who you are, but where you're going,
Mm-hmm.
then we're simply between two experiences.
Yeah.
We're between this life and the next. And we're just waiting. So we're waiting for Jesus to come back. So we're waiting. And if we're waiting, that means we're waiters. And if we're waiters, what do waiters do?
Serve.
Waiters serve. And so we serve. That's why we're here. That's who we are. And we're here to serve others. We're here to serve God and serve others. That's how we serve God, as we serve others. And the reality is, every single day in 2026 can be
I'm gonna just
a blessing.
I'm not an attorney, so I ask questions I don't know the answer to. So this could be a loaded question.
Okay.
But there's a good point here. If I think I know the answer, I think I know you well enough to know this answer. When you said, "Hey," to that guy, and keep your chin up, and are you a veteran? And do you know about passageways? That whole conversation right there. At any point in time in that conversation, from start to finish, did you say, "Hey, I'm a pastor at a church and I want to help you out, son"?
Yeah, no, he has no clue.
No clue. No clue. No clue probably that you're even a Christian.
Mm-mm.
You didn't say, "I'm a Christian, so I'm out here to serve today," did you?
No, but I had a big sign that I was carrying.
The end is nigh.
Just in case.
No. That was the deal. We talk about this and people feel all weird and icky about it.
Mm-hmm.
You can serve without that other weird half. And that's what you did. You were walking, you were listening, you saw the 36 cents, you walked out, something said, turn around. Something said, ask the question. That wasn't you.
Your God voice always catches me. I don't know that I've ever actually heard that. But anyway, to your point, yeah.
It was all organic, It was just because that's your identity, because that's how you live your life. So you will see these things as they arise, and that voice rises up. Hey, go ask the guy. And you hesitate and turn around and say, "Hey, are you a veteran?" Where did that question come from? You're serving because you know who your identity is, you know whose you are, you know what you're a part of. And so these serving moments rise up, and it's there for the taking, and you took it. When you know who you are, you will begin to see how to do it.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you know who you are, and when you experience things like this, you want to experience more of it. And I still, full confession, have times, and the thought went through my mind yesterday, well, I don't know if I want to go to this QT because there are people that are going to ask for handouts and all this and that. But that was a short-lived struggle.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got quickly beyond that, and then just got to experience.
Well, that's why I always tell people there's three voices in your head. There's yours, there's Satan's, and there's God's.
Mm-hmm.
And so you had an argument in your head. These three voices are going on. You're like, don't go down there. It'd be a hassle. Yeah, but then go do this quick trip.
Well, that's something, because I hadn't really even thought about that there is that battle that's going on.
Yeah.
I don't tend to give the enemy a lot of credit with the amount of time that he does spend in my head. I know it's there.
Yeah.
And it really, you're correct. That's the argument. That's the battle for right and wrong. That's the battle for good and evil. That's the battle that we either, fall victim to or we overcome. And so
his tools are wiles and manipulations.
Yeah.
Great story, Mike.
WHO and HOW.
Who are you? How are you going to do it? Get up every day this 2026. First thought, focus on those two words. 2026 is going to change your life.
Big time. Boom. Awesome, Doc. Hey, before we head out, this looks fantastic. Let me stop that real quick. Great job. This is a lot of work. And I so appreciate you not. I had God stuff to be doing. I'm glad you didn't call me. No, you did a lot of hard work. If you could see the floor, we're standing now on carpet.
Yes.
I think my back feels better today than it did last week.
You're welcome.
All the cool crosses and everything. This is great.
These are Tish's contribution.
Nice. A fresh look for 2026.
Boom.
Awesome. We all have a great week. God bless. Go get it.
We're just these guys, you know.
Got Dr. Parker.
As Pastor Mike. We will catch you guys next week.
Have an awesome week.